About 18% of the kids in the school district are going outside of the school district. Is that, do I have the numbers wrong?
About 40% of our school-age children go outside of the
40,
district for
okay. I'm
schooling.
not sure where I got the 18%.
18% of our 21-22 budget was utilized for out-of-district students.
So it's 40%. Okay.
Approximately 40% of the school-age children in West Hempstead.
That is actually a pretty significant number. Now, you had mentioned before that you saw that number perhaps stabilizing, so maybe it's just not going down as much. Would that be the right way to classify that?
I think the numbers in the building are stabilizing. I don't necessarily know that the number of students outside are increasing right now. I think that's pretty stable as well.
The increase is there, and I talked about this when we talked about the increase in the transportation more last year, because the cost of transportation were going up at a much higher rate than the increase in the number of students who attend school out of district. So that number of out of district students it goes up a little bit. But it's not been any astronomical increase.
And as far as projections going forward, are you looking at that trend continuing, or to maybe get on the plus side of enrollment? Like, you must have some indication of what the future lies?
I think I mean, like Karen had said, we're anticipating at least the public school to kind of stabilize. The large real drop off in that enrollment was when our arrangement with Island Park ended. I think, and you can speak more to this, we had about maybe 400 Island Park students at the peak.
Mm-hmm.
And so, those students they no longer attend the school here. That was secondary school.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of it. But, I think we're seeing the decrease kind of level off in the in-district. And I think, Mr. Riemann will probably I'll talk about this. Our graduation rate has increased over the last about 10 years from 83% to 96%. And so that we're hoping would be a draw, that and all the programs that we're offering to the students, and once families hear about that, we anticipate we'll get some more students.
So I'm wondering, Karen, maybe you can tell us about some of the cool, exciting things that have taken place this year.
I'm always going to start by saying that we have 5 classrooms of adorable 4-year-olds at our UPK Center now, which is a tremendous thing for us, of course. We have 25 students who are receiving the seal of biliteracy this year. We actually have 1 student who's actually receiving the seal of triliteracy this year. We have 30 plus students, and I think it'll probably be higher, who are going to receive the seal of civic readiness, which is a wonderful thing for us. Recently, in a board meeting, we announced that we had received a grant through Adelphi University. It's approximately $800,000 a year. I'm going to get these numbers wrong. I'm sorry. Approximately $800,000 a year for the next over 5 years, right?
Yes.
To assist the community in, AIS services and enrichment programs and things like that. So that's called 21st Century Community Learning Center grant, something like that. Mm-hmm. We had a college fair right here on campus last week. It was fabulous. The students got a chance to go and speak to some members of those college campuses, some of the admissions counselors and stuff like that. So I do understand that they were speaking very highly of our children and how they ask the right questions and obviously their behavior. We have obviously our valedictorian and salutatorian, Gloria and Victoria, who have far exceeded anything that anybody would expect. They're going to Yale next year on pretty much full scholarships, both nationally ranked track stars, fabulous students, as are most of our students here. We have 12 scholar athlete teams this year, I believe. We have one of our other seniors also nationally ranked in track, I want to say in the jump, but I don't think that's right.
So long jump.
Long jump. Joel likes to talk about the American Math Competition. We have American Math Competition winners. We have We have a virtual enterprise program here, which is fabulous. Our students basically run their own company. It's something to watch, I'll tell you. My daughter was a part of it when she was here, and it truly is a student-run organization. That classroom is student-run from top to bottom. They create their own business, and then essentially they go around with other schools and they promote this at these trade shows, and they win competitions and they do all these lovely things. The kids do everything from, budgeting to business plan to promotional items to design, everything. And now we've got a junior VE club here. So both of them are award-winning groups. It's a wonderful thing to see. That's something you should podcast. You should get in touch with somebody to
We're
do that.
there.
There's just so much that goes on here to be proud of. And those are just small things. I mean, academically, as Joel spoke about, we've gone from an 83% to a 96% graduation rate, which is a phenomenal feat in and of itself. We have 25 AP scholars, 8 AP scholars with honors, 10 AP scholars with distinction, 6 AP capstone diploma recipients. We have 8 AP seminar and research certificates coming. Our students participated in, I believe, what Mr. Riemann said yesterday was 17 AP exams, over 17 different AP exams, and we were 70% scored above the top 3.
At the end of the day, part of what we're trying to do is attract, more and more kids and to the schools and to get into their programs. How can you get the word out of all these amazing things? I know there's a very active, website and social media, but it seems like there's incredible stories out there. How can we just publicize this even more?
I don't know what the right answer is as far as publicizing any of this. We've screamed it from the rooftops. I mean, I just went through a list, which is, really not even touching half of what goes on here. Our school district is fabulous. We're very diverse. We're small enough to be very in tune to the children and very involved in what goes on and know all the kids. We're good. It's nice when all the administrators know who's in their buildings and they know all the children by name and they know all of that stuff. I think the big misconception is that a lot of people are making an exodus from the school district. And I don't necessarily know that that's true, because I think that what we have to remember is that there are people who choose, due to their own personal preferences, to send their children outside, whether it's to a private school or a parochial school or whatever. So I think maybe it's a little bit of putting out more PR and letting people know what goes on here, but I do think that there are people who are going to send their child to Catholic school because that's what they did, and that's what their mothers did, and that's what their grandfathers said is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I think that that's going to happen anyway. So I think we have to figure out, is it just that, the 3 kids that lived in my house are no longer age appropriate for school, so that's a decline. But now my neighbor who has 3 little kids, as their kids come up, they're going to take the space of where my kids were,
Yeah.
I think it's an ebb and flow type of
It's a really
situation.
interesting question, and I'm actually trying to think about, how would you instill Ram pride, if you will, for people who really aren't exposed, but they should have pride in what's going on in all the schools that are in the school district, because the story's amazing. The kids that are coming out are great. You should be screaming from the rooftops, and I'm just trying to figure out how to make it, a story that everyone in the community has to feel proud about. And, they should really take a lot of, joy and pride in what's going on, as opposed to, necessarily beating up on, nitpicking on one thing or another. Overall, it's been a great year, and it continues to be a great story.
Absolutely. I think what's important to also note that, we're not the only district experiencing decline in enrollment. It's happening across the island. It's been happening for a number of years. So our numbers may have gone down, at a quicker rate, but again, I would tie that back to the Island Park students.
So that 40% is not necessarily, it's not a one-off on West Hempstead. It's really more indicative of what's going on in Nassau County?
I think the 40%, I think this community is more unique than most communities on Long Island in that respect. I just think the decrease in enrollment in the public schools itself is something that is common throughout most of the districts on Long Island.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as we finish up the school year, Joel, we understand that you're going to be leaving West Hempstead School District. And I was wondering if maybe you had a chance to be a little bit reflective and to think about maybe one or two of the things that you're going to miss about our community and miss about the school district. You've had such an incredible impact on pretty much everything, that you see here. So now is your opportunity to, tell us, what you feel.
Yeah. My impact here, this is not me. This is a team. It's the district, it's the Board of Education, it's the administrators. So this doesn't happen without all of those folks. And I think that's one of the things that's probably not recognized to the extent it should be here is the amount of work that is put in by all of the administrators in this district. It's interesting because we're such a small district. We're very leanly staffed. And that means that we all wear a number of hats and we all pitch in. It's not that I say, well, I'm the assistant soup for business and I just do business and operations. I'll share thoughts about curriculum, and other areas here. And it's welcome. There's a give and take here. So that's one of the things that I'll appreciate the most, and that I'll take with me. It really is, like a family here, because we all work so hard and so long, that we all know we spend more time here than we do at home. So I will certainly miss the people that I've worked with here over the last few years. The Board of Education, this has been a very open and honest and authentic communication amongst the Board of Ed. And even when they're disagreeing, it's all in the interest of the children in the district. So people are very passionate about that.
Joel, I want to thank you so much for all your years of service and for your time tonight. Karen, thank you so much, and
Thank you.
Really appreciate getting into the questions in a little bit more detail than we normally would, but that's what it's all about. It's all leading up to the May 16th elections, and the voting will be taking place in the secondary school.
Will be taking place in the secondary school North Gym, which is the old middle school gym, from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Great. So polls open up at 7 a.m. Bring your coffee. And again, if you're complaining, you have no excuse outside of, just get out and vote. You got to vote one way or the other. And to have such a poor turnout is inexcusable. If you're involved, vote, be heard. That's what we're all about. So this is David Kirshner at West Hempstead Echo. Thank you very much. I'm here at the West Hempstead High School with the school board. And have a great day.